Next question. Discuss significance and issues associated with the MSP. Very important topic in the agriculture topic. How to answer this question? What is MSP? We have seen in the problems of agriculture, we have seen one major problem is if there is bumper production of the crop, farmers will lose their market value because supply will increase. Whenever there is higher supply, returns for the farmers will be gone. Already the income of the farmer is very low. On an average, it is 10,000 per month. In such scenarios, whenever the production is very high, if the farmer suffers more, would he try to increase his production? Would he be encouraged to go for agriculture production? Would he do something more production in order to generate any kind of exports? No, right? So government thought, in order to promote some amount of stability or else some assured market to the farmer, we should bring some minimum support price. This was started after independence with the objective to provide minimum assured returns to the farmers. Government says, don't worry farmer, you please grow for the agriculture crop. If the market do not buy your crop, we will definitely assure you some amount of price, because during 1960s time period we were facing food crisis. Currently we have surplus food production. So with the intention to promote the agriculture, encourage the farmer, to not demotivate the farmer, government thought will give minimum assured price to the farmer. Government will collect those produce from the farmer. From where do government collect this thing? They will go to the APMC mandis. Government will go to the APMC mandi, and if the farmer is not able to sell his produce, government will collect it. Through whom it will collect? Food Corporation of India. It will tell the Food Corporation of India, go and collect from the farmer. Food Corporation of India will collect and it will keep it in its godowns. Now government will also have another target. It should give food security to the citizens of India. We have seen high amount of poverty. One of the measure of the poverty alleviation is to give food at a lower price. Government will give higher price to the farmer, and government will use this thing and provide it to the consumer or citizen at the very lower price. Whatever the gap that is there, that is considered as a subsidy. This is the supply chain. From the farmer, government will collect, it will go to the Food Corporation of India. From Food Corporation of India, it will go to the ration shops, and from there it will go to the, all this thing is a PDS. I'm not going into the PDS, it is not a topic of discussion. Now all the supply chain will cost government so much, and that is considered as food subsidy, and this is highest revenue expenditure for the government. Now what are the basic objectives? Like I have mentioned, to give minimum assured returns to the farmer, protecting the farmer against the market fluctuations. We said while discussing about the PM Fasal Bima Yojana, I told you it is not protecting against the market fluctuations. This is a scheme which provide a protection to the farmers against the market fluctuations. So minimum amount of guarantee, food security would be assured. So it will boost production. All these things will be benefiting the farmers. But seems looks very good. Then what are the problems? The problem is implementation. The scheme is being implemented currently, though the MSP is announced for 25 crops, 23 plus 2. Government announced it for 23 crops and 2 more crops, the same thing will be extended. But in reality, this is implemented for rice, wheat, cotton and sugarcane. So only these crops are getting benefited. And these crops are usually, rice and wheat especially, are grown in the areas of green revolution belts, Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, and also parts of your Godavari region, and also delta regions of the Tamil Nadu. These are the areas where green revolution was successful. So this thing, there is a crop disparity and regional disparity. Only few crops are being promoted and few regions are getting benefited. And also, who can generate that level of surplus production? Only rich farmers. So this is causing crop disparity, regional disparity and the income disparity. Not only this thing, environmental problem is also being created. How? These rice, cotton, sugarcane are water intensive crops. they need a lot of water. Since government is providing assured returns, farmers, though being a semi-arid region, instead of going for coarse cereals, oil seeds, pulses, they are going for other crops which can generate huge returns, rice or wheat. Not only that, they are also using excess amount of resources, water resources, where farmers getting free power supply, free amount of water through tube well irrigation. So much of resource is getting wasted because of poor policy, MSP problem. Not just crop disparity, regional disparity, but also environmental concerns. And this is also causing disparities in the cropping pattern. We are the semi-arid region. We should grow good amount of oil seeds, pulses, coarse cereals, but we do not grow these coarse cereals, pulses and oil seeds. We import, we already seen, we import huge amount of oil seeds and pulses. So this will increase the current account deficit problem. Lack of pulses, lack of coarse cereals is also causing the nutritional deficit, nutritional crisis, hidden hunger. All these are the problems of your MSP. Regional disparity, cross disparity, and huge subsidy burden to the government, lack of crop diversification, monoculture, and WTO concerns. There is agreement on agriculture under the WTO. I have already discussed WTO is an organization that promotes free trade. Under this, various agreements have been signed. This says no government can give subsidy that can distort trade. So government, this WTO says to government, India, you are giving subsidies that can distort trade. You are procuring rice and wheat at the lower cost. Now if you sell these lower cost products in the output or export market, the cost of your products are low and other products cannot compete with your products. That causes trade distortion. So WTO wants us to do away with this thing. Then government made a peace clause. Government says, no, we are a developing country. We have high amount of poverty. We are not selling it in the outside market. We are selling it to our people at a lower cost to handle our hunger. Government says, WTO says, still it is a problem. If any product from Bangladesh, hypothetically example, coming from Bangladesh to the India, person will not buy the rice from Bangladesh because rice is cheaply available at the ration shops. Again, there is distortion of market. But government said, we are a country, developing country, we have higher amount of poverty and we have to take care of the people concerned. So there is a peace clause. So this is about the WTO concerns. Now recently you might have seen government started to take reforms. They wanted to introduce market reforms. That is a good reform. But in against to this, there are few farmers demanding legal protection. Legal protection is not possible. Currently we do not have legal protection or legal backing to the MSP. It is executive policy. That means government will may take or may not take the supply. However, government takes most of the times, but in those areas and in those crops. But they want legal protection. That is not possible. It does not provide us fiscal space. That will increase our revenue expenditure. What we need is increase in the capital expenditure. If you invest in the capital expenditure in terms of the roads, in terms of the storehouses, warehouses, cold chain, this will increase the farmer's income. MSP will not increase the farmer income. Higher revenue expenditure and the fiscal deficit. So these are the issues associated with it. I have tried to add what are the reforms that are being taken up by the government. Government has recently announced the PM ASHA scheme. It has 3 components under it. Price support scheme, price deficiency payment scheme, pilot private procurement scheme. Under this PM ASHA scheme, what government is trying to do is, government is trying to provide MSP for these 3 crops, copra, oilseed and pulses. So government is basically trying to increase the coverage, procurement of these things. So to correct our cropping pattern. Price deficiency payment scheme. In this is based on the Madhya Pradesh government scheme. Bhuvantar, there is a scheme Bhuvantar, that is based on the Madhya Pradesh scheme. What government does here is, government will not procure the crop. Government will ask from the mandi, what is the gap between what farmer is receiving and what farmer expected whatever the MSP announced by the government and what actually farmer is receiving in the market. That gap will be filled by the government by direct transfer to the farmer's account. So this will reduce the supply chain and transaction cost or else transport cost to the government. Corruption will be reduced, which is present in this entire supply chain. Pilot private procurement scheme. It will government, instead of asking Food Corporation of India to procure these products, government will ask any private player, why don't you go and procure it? We will offer you some other benefits. So that would be a win-win situation to everyone. Government do not have to invest in the infrastructure that is needed for the private procurement. Apart from this, government has also initiated reforms in this PDS, and government has also initiated reforms like say Operation Total, where MSP will be applicable to all the horticulture products. We have already seen this thing, but this is a scheme by Ministry of Food Processing. Then they have also gone for decentralized procurement scheme. Means instead of Food Corporation of India procuring the scheme, it will ask state governments, be it Telangana, be it Andhra Pradesh. Central government will say, okay, you procure. We will give it to money, whatever the cost that has been incurred for you while procuring these crops, we will transfer it to you. So that is called a decentralized procurement scheme. Then government has gone for the Shanta Kumar committee. This committee said, do away all this process, reduce the Food Security Act to the 40%, and sometimes give the cash transfers, reduce the subsidy burden and the supply chain. However, government has not yet implemented this Shanta Kumar committee. So these are certain reforms taken in the MSP. What is the conclusion? MSP is very important. You can mention these measures, or you can say MSP is very important policy that ensures social justice. If it is rationalized to address above concerns, it can be a tool for rural transformation and ensures ecological sustainability.